questions?
Mike, obviously, another one that comes down to the wire, and I don't think you guys played particularly well most of the day, but you had a chance to win it. And so, how frustrating is it to come up short?
Well, first of all, our kids never ever give up, and if you never give up, you got a chance to be successful eventually. And so that was great seeing that. It was extremely. I don't even know if the word frustrating is not even the word you can use anymore. We've got to find a way to get the ball in the end zone, down the red zone. We did a little change up there in the fourth quarter, which I think helped spark us a little bit, got them on their heels a little bit, and had opportunities. We had guys running wide open and didn't have time a couple times, or missed them a couple times. That would have been big. Would have been touchdown plays, and we've got to be able to do that. So we've got to coach it better and execute it better.
With the spark that Weenie gave you, was there a thought of putting him back in there for that last drive, or?
Well, his the passing game, he hasn't worked on that as much, and we knew we were going to have to throw it. And we had him ready if we had to do any third downs, any fourth down type situations, he was going to go in. But as far as him dropping back and throwing it, he hasn't been able to do that as much. So we thought, we had a guy wide open one time and got flushed, and felt like we had the best opportunity with Jordan knowing how to throw that ball downfield and read the coverage better.
How much did it change things for you guys when you lose Cade? Obviously he's already your backup, but then you lose him. Did it change things for you at all?
Well, it changes a little bit. We didn't move the ball there for a little while, but had some opportunities to, just didn't make some plays, and it bogged us down a little bit.
What happened with Cade? I mean, what?
Yes.
What was the
He got
injury?
concussion.
Oh, okay.
And he had, they had looked at him earlier. I had them look at him earlier because he got hit earlier. They did all the tests. He was fine. Came back in. He kind of got thrown to the turf a little bit, and that hit on the roll, and then they said that he was out. Okay. So that next time.
Do you have, when you go in there after the game, do you have a message to your seniors, or does that wait for 24 hours or 36 hours?
No, we did have a message for the seniors. First we thank them, and it's final in there for those guys, and it's final for the whole team. We won't have that same team again. And we talked. Our slogan this year was trust, and trust each other, trust in everything that we do, and a lot of things that go into that word. And so I told them to make sure they remembered that. And went around and hugged them all, and then I'll see them again this week individually and meet with them and talk with them. But and then the other guys said their byes to them. It's a tough situation on that.
Regardless of what type of season you have, how tough is this day? You've been through it as a senior and through many years as a coach. How tough is this day, regardless of what the year's been like? Oh,
it's always tough. I was telling the guys today, but right before we got on the buses, I can remember my last pregame meal. I can remember that. 4 guys sitting at the table with me. I can remember, running out on the field for my last warm-up. I can remember running out on the field. I can remember coming off the field. I can remember plays that I made. I can remember taking my shoulder pads and my helmet off for the last time and shedding a tear because I wasn't going to put them on again. And that's what most of those guys are going through. So it's something you put your heart, soul into it, and then it abruptly ends. And that's a hard thing to handle, and you have to work through it.
Knowing the goal you guys set for yourself at the start of this year, you talked bowl game from the start of fall camp. To finish a season like this, does that make it even tougher knowing that you guys as a team were not able to send those seniors out?
Yeah, it does. The seniors have set a good legacy for us. They've worked extremely hard. They've hung through here, and pushed and provided good leadership for our team. They've done a good job on that, and it does. You want to always try to end on the best note you can, and we didn't.
What can you say about your defense that kept you in this game today? Did a really nice
defense
job?
Played well. We're getting better and better on defense. We had some injuries early in the year on defense, and compensated for that. Now we've had the guys in there playing that have played for a while and kept getting better as the year goes on. And adding the guys back with them next year, I think we should have a very, very good defense.
Utah's got one of the better run defenses in the country, and you guys have kind of sputtered a little bit at times this year. Really struggled on the ball today. Can you talk about what
we had quite a few sacks there that take away from that rushing yardage. I always say I wish it was like the NFL, then you could really see what you ran for. But yeah, we did. We had a few good runs, but wasn't able to establish it as much as we'd like. And then there at the end, we were having to throw it a little bit more. So.
Diego, the block field goal. Can you talk about what happened on that play?
Yeah, we had a mess up inside, and we've been working on it. And the kid didn't do it right, and they squeezed through and got their hand up, which is, something that's inexcusable.
How frustrating has that unit been for you? I mean, 7 games in a row, you guys have missed one.
Yeah, it's beyond frustrating. Can't use another word. I don't know. Maybe we can come up with a dictionary word for better than frustrated. I don't know.
Coach, that field goal was one of 2 missed opportunities in the first half in the red zone. What would you attribute the struggles in the red zone to that you've had recently?
Well, number one, not having Cepho. Because when we had Cepho, we were able to run him in, and he could throw it if they spread out with you, you could run it. He was able to do that some. And then not executing well enough. So we've got to figure up a better drawing board for that. They're very good down there too. We've got to be able to make more plays down there. But I think, not making excuses, when we had Cepho, we were a little bit better in there because you had a dual threat type guy, and we had some checks where he could run it in or throw it and that type of thing.
We ask you about your, how did this player do, or what happened
Yeah.
on special teams. How would you evaluate the job you did this year?
Wow. I think that the job that I did, I think it's a great question. I got to go back and really sit down and look at everything. I thought that we kept our kids playing hard. I thought we kept motivated. I think we have made strides. There's no doubt. I mean, if you watch us, even listen to the seniors talk Wednesday night when they talked to the team, they were talking about how they were getting beat 55-0 by Fresno, and over in the first 5 minutes, 40-something nothing or something by Oregon. And I didn't even really know about that. That's before I even really got here. And they were talking about how far they've come. And, the thing that we've got to do, I've got to do a better job of us executing in the red zone. We've got to do a better job on our special teams units. So in these close games, those critical plays, all of a sudden, that's a 10-point swing. You win these football games. So we've got to do a better job there, and I've got to do a better job in those areas. And then somehow I got to keep us healthier. And I think one more year in the weight room, a little bit stronger, more guys playing will help us there. And we've got a ton of guys back, and that have been through a lot of battles. And I think that'll pay. I know it will pay dividends.
Samson's been playing well lately, but then gets the targeting call.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that play? Obviously, not
Yeah,
a
it
smart
looked
play
like
on
he
his end,
came
but-
in there and thought the guy might have still been up on top of a body, which happens sometimes, and he hit him. Where he hit him up high, and they called it, and that's the rule. So that's unfortunate for him, but that's how they apply the rule, and they need to apply the rule. We need to protect those guys that are in those situations.
One last thing. You talk about how much you're going to miss Nelson. I know you talked about
Wow.
it all year, but
Oh, yeah.
he had such a good first half and such a
First
great
of all, I'm
career.
going to miss Nelson just as a person. I mean, he's very mature, excellent leader, very dependable, and an excellent role model for our young men. And then, of course, I'm going to miss him on the field. His plays, he's Mr. Reliable, he's dependable. And I guess I'll get to see highlights of him on ESPN next year. I never get to watch a pro game, but I'll see a highlight or two on him. So I'll be excited about what he does in the future. And then whatever he does when he gets out, I'm going to invest in it because I know he'll make a bunch of money, so I need to make sure I know what he's doing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.